in Columbus. We make our way to the 3-4-3 for Federico Higuain. Although they've struggled to get goals, Chase Adams has about a third of them. Mitchell scored a brace on Sunday. It's his second start since tearing his ACL 15 months ago. Jair Colahuaso got a red card against Chicago that really put things at a standstill for the Bulls on Sunday. That makes way for Schwartz to get his 10th start as Serrata returns from injury himself. Austin Causey only has one start with the New York Red Bulls. That was back in June. Today is his second start and his third appearance with the New York Red Bulls. We make our way towards the pitch where it is two opposite ends of the table in the East. The New York Red Bulls remain the top dog in the Eastern Conference, tied with Philadelphia Union at 39 points. I'm sure they had a huge sigh of relief last night after Philly could not get the job done in High Point against Carolina Core, so they remain tied with Philadelphia at the top of the table. As for the Columbus Crew, they struggled to get out of their own way early on. They really struggled to get goals, but the fact that they have 5 consecutive one-goal games is something that Federico Higuain said was promising about his squad, something that allows their young guys to experience this level of football. Trust and time are very important to the process, as the next step is against the top dog in the Eastern Conference. Columbus start off with the ball in the yellow, left to right they begin, as the New York Red Bulls, all red, right to left. They begin as we are at historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio, as starting off match week 1 with the youngest roster of all of MLS Next Pro. They've had to really work through the process, as we have an offside, one on both ends, one against Columbus, and now the next against Mahir Jimenez. Jimenez, he can fly in that front line. He did so very successfully against NYCFC a couple of weeks back. Not only getting the hat trick against NYC, but he ended up being the youngest player in Red Bulls 2 history to do so at 18 years, 114 days old at the time of the last win they had against NYCFC about a week and a half ago, and now it's Columbus's chance to come across, but Gutierrez cuts it off. Juggling, Alloway, centering, Adu Giamfi. Wanted to lay it for Elliott. Rincon splits it. Bombley with a try, but it's slowly towards Austin Causey. Something we don't really see very much of is some of those dangerous opportunities for Columbus Crew 2. They are at the bottom of the league in terms of both shots attempted and shots on target. It is something that they have been struggling to do, and because of it, Columbus has been a team that probably across all of MLS Next Pro has struggled the heaviest in terms of getting the ball in the back of the net and trying to face the top offensive unit across the entire league. Most certainly can be a task that Federico Higuain said that it's an amazing opportunity to have to face a team that does a lot of things better than we do, and they're excited to show how competitive they can be across the game, as Bombley is open in space. Bombley's all alone, one-on-one with Causey. He makes the stop. This is one of the dangers of Kevin Bombley, despite the fact that he's still looking for his first goal contract. Columbus continue the cycle. Out wide, Elliott to serve, and it's cut off by Steven Serrata. Bombley back and forth, continuing to cross, but nothing goes. That's already the 3rd time that Columbus have been offside. Something that Columbus does not do very much of is get behind the defensive line. It's been one of those offensive hiccups that Federico Higuain has had to deal with, especially because they just haven't been able to maximize some of their opportunities. They've dealt with a good chunk of improvement throughout the season, but they've been in the same spot at the table for pretty much all season, and That's probably the most discomforting part of Federico Higuain's unit. He has to look out. Andy Rojas works the near side. Rojas cuts across with a shot and scores! It's Rojas' return to the score sheet. His second goal of the season and the first for the Bulls. What an individual effort from Andy Rojas. This is his first goal since match week 1 against Atlanta. Able to curl it through into the top right corner. They probably had no business being in those respective games, but Pruder making a lot of clutch saves when needed. It's an opportunity for Columbus as the long ball's held on. Attempted cross, Gutierrez in the way, but out of play. A steal by New York. Rojas alone again after Randazzo takes a spill. Rojas, edge of the area, crosses in. The header is caught by Pruder. Morales, nice drive for Rojas. He's got a step on Elliott. Rojas works on Elliott. Crossing, centering, another chance, and off the line. Jimenez, it's free, drops down. Mitchell a swipe, but a partial flub goes out of play. New York is causing all sorts of havoc in the area for Columbus. You had Benedetti free, and the beautiful overhead kick save made by Owen Prestes to keep Nico Rincon. Owen Prestes. It is Prestes, and it's held off by Causey. Line drive by Owen Prestes, the right footer, and for 55 minutes after Aiden Stokes only played a little over half an hour. However, only one start to his name. That was against Crown Legacy in Matthews, where Rincon and Elliott steps over for 2. Rincon curls, headed, blocked by Gutierrez and cleared. Bombley with a try, and it's held off by Causey. Columbus Crew have been getting a good number of opportunities. However, a lot of them have been relatively far from the penalty area, from that outer edge. Not really threatening very much closer to the 6. As it's driven forward, Jimenez is alone. Jimenez 1v1. Jimenez, wide angle, and right to Pruder. One of the hiccups with having a speedster like Mahir Jimenez, it can be difficult to maybe stop or wait for the reinforcements, as you had a defender like Ferdinand one-on-one who has not played with the second team in 3 months, but has been a regular in the lineup when he was, as this one rolls to Causey the other way. Elliott chopped down. Gutierrez already on a yellow. And just like that, he's got another. That's another early red card against the New York Red Bulls. Already suspended is Cole Huaso. Now their other center back, Juan Gutierrez, takes his second yellow. Just a little late as he got contact on Elliott after the ball was lost. New York will be a man down for the second set of 45, but they get the beneficiary of Andy Rojas opening the scoring at 1-0. For the second set of 45, we remain with the same 21 players that started off in the opening kickoff as we start the second half here at Historic Crew Stadium. As Ryan Lee and our entire MLS Next Pro crew, we thank you for joining us here at Historic Crew Stadium, where it is the best of the East versus the team looking to claw their way out of the bottom, where they are only 5 points above Inter Miami 2 at the 14th seed. possibly on pace to have their first ever season outside of conference final weekend, let alone the playoffs entirely for Columbus and for the New York Red Bulls, trying to advance in the #1 overall seed in the East, with Philadelphia Union taking the loss last night in High Point against Carolina Core. That was a late game thriller as well between the Core and the Union, as it's going to be a turnaround try for Mitchell as he's bodied down and wins the whistle. Two of the most historic franchises in MLS history, the Columbus Crew and New York Red Bulls. They have played 85 combined matches on the MLS side here at historic Crew Stadium. However, the slight edge in that head-to-head goes to Columbus. But in the head-to-head in MLS Next Pro play, the edge has gone to the New York Red Bulls, as the attempted keep-in is out of play, and this will go to New York. New York didn't get a single corner in the first half, so this is the first of the game, as it will be taken by Marcelo Morales. Morales, low driver, is deflected in! The service from Morales, and the finisher gets behind Pruder. Down one man, two goes up for New York. What a corner for New York. You have that logjam inside of the 6, and it looks like that might have contacted Aiden Jarvis last. He got an assist on the original Rojas goal, gets a goal of his own, and New York up 2 has really come from it. Elliot Rincon. Elliot to serve. Morales has to be careful as Adams operates that far side. Mitchell helps out. Holloway, side, loads up and off the post and in! Ibra Sy with his first goal goes bar in. What a bar-in banger from Ibra Sy. It looked like it was gonna go wide, but a beautiful bounce off of the pipe and in. Columbus looks for room. Centrally, Ibra Sy gets around, takes another try, and that time Causey does get the hands on. So two guys who have scored recently, 2 of the last 4 goals have come from either Elliott or Rincon. This time it is Rincon, and it's right to Causey, who makes the read. Benedetti to take. Benedetti, service, right to Pruder. Now we have a New York player down again. This time it's Marcelo Morales. And this is a straight red for Columbus. New York, crazy to say, they have life to not only maintain their lead, but maybe slam the door shut. As you see Morales and Adams on the left side of your screen, it was the swipe from behind that hit Morales. You had a concussion substitution check and the red card by Chase Adams. How big a stoppage? Can Holloway tie it before? Holloway to center, takes deflection, blocked in front. Second try, side denied by Mehmeti. Nico Rincon, Ofori in front, curls it around, the headers towards goal and wide. Nice attempt made by Christian Ortiz, but cannot. The Red Bulls remain atop of the East. Hang on, a man down to win, a goal up. And New York come to Columbus, take the 3 points, and win in historic Crew Stadium by a final score of 2-1.